Good morning, everyone, and I always love that lead-in that they have for me here. It makes me feel great to have that rockin' music to welcome everyone to our 8th annual SALT Summit. My name is Chris Nowitzki, the Lake George Waterkeeper program of the Lake George Association, and this is our third event that we are actually hosting that's hybrid, so there are people virtually in 8 states and in Canada. And we are excited to be able to continue to offer this to you with the support of our partners and our sponsors. We have a very strong agenda today, highlighting the successes that we have here at Lake George with our Lake George model and reduction and how it's spreading through the Adirondacks and elsewhere. We'll talk about the Adirondack Road Salt Task Force with representatives of the commissioners from the co-chairs, DOT and DEC. We'll have a great presentation on the effects of road salt on groundwater, as well as a discussion on outreach, as well as presentations by and demonstrations by our sponsors. And I'd like to recognize all our sponsors, and we can wait to the end, but give them all a big round of applause. Our leading edge sponsor, Innovative Surface Solutions. We have our fleet sponsors, De-icing Depot, Metal Plus, Winter Equipment, Granite De-icing, as well as the Fort William Henry Conference Center, who's hosting us. And our supporting sponsors, ADK Action, Northern Supply, Adirondack Council, Lake Champlain Sea Grant, and Henderson. So if we could give them all a nice round of applause. Without their support, we'd have to be asking you for money, and we're not doing that, so that's great on them. I'd also like to thank the Board of Directors of the Lake George Association, and I'd like to recognize my good friend Bill Creighton, who's from the Board of Directors and here. I'd like to thank him for their support and the recognition of this issue, as well as their investment in allowing us to work with the municipalities and perform the science that we do. A couple housekeeping items. There's your pass. You do have the permission to go to the bathroom. Bathrooms are back as you go out the doors to the right. There will be some breaks throughout the day. The first one at 10 o'clock, our lunch break, and then in the afternoon. Lunch will be at 12 o'clock. It will be a bag lunch, and you will come in and then listen to the presentations by our sponsors. And as our production crew said, please silence your cell phones to be courteous to our presenters. For the virtual attendees, I'd like to remind you that there is a chat box, so please forward your questions to us at the conference center, and we'll be sure to be mindful of them. For those of you in the audience with questions, we will have people with handheld microphones, but please make sure you wait to get the microphone before you ask your question. That way the people online can hear that as well. And for everybody, please fill out the evaluations that we have. They really helped us on planning. For example, we took your comments from last year. We actually started this event a little later to allow people to travel to get here. We actually have a concurrent session this afternoon, so operators can go out for a calibration training. We'll have a discussion inside on outreach. And we actually allowed for more vendor and sponsor time. So we tried to listen to your input, so please take the time to fill that out. To start today's event, I would like to invite Eric Sy to the podium. I've had the pleasure and privilege of working with Eric for the past 12 years, and it was through his vision and leadership that the SALT Summit was created. His development and implementation of the model using partnership, innovation, and most importantly, investment has been the cornerstone of the Lake George model for road salt reduction, which now has been recognized nationwide. Please welcome Eric Sy.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you all. Welcome. This is our 8th annual SALT Summit. Time really flies, and it is fun, right? This is fun because we're doing good. by doing right, so, or something like that. Anyway, we're thrilled to have over 200 people in the room and online. As Chris mentioned, 8 states are represented. Our good friends and neighbors to the north, Canada, is with us. So this truly has become a destination event, and what could be better than that? This is the place to be if you want to know how to reduce the use of road salt. We're not landing anybody on Mars, right? We're simply doing what? We're using salt smarter, and we're doing it as partners. And that's the key to this. Chris mentioned partnership, innovation, and investment. All have been applied in what we're doing to reduce the use and making Lake George what is considered to be the North American model for road salt reduction. We have the numbers don't lie. You can look online at what we're doing, the reductions we're realizing. But I see a lot of our partners in the room. I see municipal leaders, town supervisors, highway superintendents, our operators who have become our chief champions for reducing the use of road salt. And I thank all of you. Without you, without our committed partners, we wouldn't be here today to declare we're a model and to share our story, to share our results, and hopefully to spread the wealth so that others follow our lead in doing what we do. We're reducing salt use, and you'll hear this, you've read about it, by as much as 50% and more. And at the same time, we are slashing winter maintenance budgets by equal amounts, almost that much. It's extraordinary. So those major cost savings help to do what? They help to drive interest and commitment, because everybody's always struggling, and I don't need to tell supervisors and other officials, with their budgets year over year. So if there are ways to cut costs without reducing something as precious and paramount as road safety, good grief. You know, why wouldn't we be doing that? So it's the ultimate win-win-win. And I just want to thank you again for being here to make this such a special event, and to thank all our sponsors. Chris did that. And so let's get on with the show. It is my distinct pleasure now to introduce Lake George Village, Ray Perry. I see Ray out there. You know, Mayor Perry follows in the footsteps of our dear friend, Mayor Bob Blais, for those who don't know, the nation's longest serving mayor who just stepped down. And Ray has big shoes to fill, and he knows that, so I don't need to tell him. But Mayor Blais was a tireless leader, from reducing the use of road salt, helping show the way, to stopping aquatic invasive species, another signature program that we've launched and continue to co-underwrite with our state partners, the Lake George Park Commission, here at Lake George. So Mayor Perry now carries this proud legacy forward for the next generation. And without further ado, Mayor. Press the button, but there you go.
What does that do?
It's going to move. There you are.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, I'd like to welcome you all to the SALT Summit, the 8th annual. Welcome to our viewers remotely and everyone here. Thank you for coming, and thank you for all you do. Eric touched on it. At the end of the day, it's a cost savings, and you're doing good. So there is no loser in this situation. We've reduced our salt applications by over 50% in the village, by first starting with treated salt and then going to brine. Our roads are just as safe, and I believe our partnership with the town and their brining production, where they provide us with the brine, we've developed application. Took a little doing, but we got there. Our roads are just as safe, and I believe we're a model for the country and for North America. I'd like to also thank you for coming every year, over and over, more people each year, and welcome to Lake George. Thank you very much.